Hi everyone. Hello. Hello. So, I will start. I like this song, but let's be serious right now. So, thank you everyone for coming. Today I'm going to do a little talk called Evil Tech: How Developers Became Villains. I feel like most people here must be developers, right? Right? I don't hear you. Oh, great. Okay, okay. I was scared for it. So, here I'm going to tell you guys how we became the bad guys in town, okay? Are you excited? You know what? I feel like we just had a big meal, and I don't feel you energy at all. So, to start, I will ask you to get in theme, in character, as a villain. So, I'm going to start something with you guys, and you have to do it because I'm the main villain here. I'm forcing you guys to go with me, okay? We're going to do a little contest. Okay, I see some people, they're scared. No, 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 you cannot leave, mister. Sit down. So, this contest will be about evil love. You know, every villain, they have this evil love, no? Like this evil love, you know, oh, okay, that guy, that's Joker. I want you guys to come up, or maybe just stay here, because since he will be on YouTube, you don't want your boss or your mom to see it. So you will stay over here, you will stand up and give your best evil love. And at the end, I will ask all of the audience to vote through clapping for the best evil love. And you will win nothing. Of course. No, I'm a villain. Of course, I'm not going to give you anything. So, to give you some strength, I'm going to give you my best evil love. Okay? Are you ready? So, for people watching on video, you just need to turn down the volume, okay? It's going to be very loud. Okay? Okay, many people just ran off. But that's great. That's what I wanted. It means that I'm truly in character, okay? So, who is going to volunteer to do their best evil love? Don't worry, you're not on camera, your mom won't see it, your boss won't see it. Only us will know the truth. Who is willing? Come on, you guys. Oh, thank you. Okay, can you all clap for this lady? Woo! Nice. I'm sorry, but what's your name? Emma. Okay. So first come up, Emma. Who is going to go up? Okay, okay. A challenge. I love it. What's your name? It's not done. Oh, you're awesome. Can you keep going? No, seriously. Let's go. I love this. Sorry, Emma. What's your name?
Danny.
Danny?
Danny.
Danny.
Yes, Danny.
Okay,
No,
Danny.
Danny. Danny.
Danny. Oh, with an E. Okay. Okay, that's a villain name for sure. For sure. So, a third person coming up to go up against Danny. Oh, come on. Oh, yes, sir. Up. Come on, come on, come on. Please clap for him. Thank you. What's your name?
Paul.
Born?
Paul.
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 Oh my God, that's the worst. No, the best villain name. Uh, I got chills. So the bad thing is that no one can see Paul, but it was really scary. Like his face was truly like it got me. I got chills. Right now, please stay away from me from now on, okay? Okay, so a fourth person. So no one is brave. No one. I thought I was in the Viking land. Sorry. Anyway, so I want you guys to vote for the best evil love. We're going to start with Emma. Please clap if you thought she was the best. Thank you, thank you. Now, Danny. Wow, okay. And no, Paul. Oh. Okay, so I guess Danny wins. Please, can you stand up? Woo! Thank you, Danny. Can you do it again? Please, I really love it. I love it. Please, give it to Danny again. You're just awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love it. So, you must be wondering, what the hell is this talk about? We are just laughing, making weird noises. I thought we were here to learn something so that I can justify not being at work. I'm getting here. I just wanted you guys to be in the mood for what is going to come, to get in character, to get what I'm going to say, okay? So, let's begin. Whoop. I feel like I'm going to start with a definition. After something so crazy, I need to be more, to conform more to the norm. So, before we get into this talk, we need to understand what a villain means. So, of course, we must think, of course, a villain is a character in a story that is against the hero. It could also be a criminal. Yeah, of course. And finally, it could also be someone who is blamed for something evil. Keyword blame. Doesn't mean it's a bad person, just the one that takes the blame. Where I'm going with this. When I was thinking of doing this talk, it was because I saw in the media so many scandals regarding mostly AI or all the tech innovation that is going on, such as these headlines that you can read about all the bad stuff that happened recently regarding the state of technology. And the one thing that came up all the time was the devs behind it. Oh, all the devs, they're just making new features to, keep surveillance going. They're the big brother is watching you, They're the small hands that are making this big machine that is running our lives, That is, as a dev, you are not necessarily people say, oh, you're a bad person, but sometimes people might be like, oh, you're a dev. Ah, so you're the one that is watching me. I see. But are we really? Like, if you are a small dev at a small town, working in a small company doing like a red button, you don't think evil. You just maybe because it's red, it's ugly, so you feel evil for doing something ugly, but not for all the things that is being shared online, being shown by the media. So we might think, that devs are the antagonist, if we go by the definition I gave earlier, which means that we are the one that are opposing the hero. Not necessarily evil, but we are standing in the way of the hero. But if we are the antagonist, who is the hero? Who is the hero? You don't know? No? No one? Okay, I'm going to tell you the answer then, since you guys have no imagination. It's society. Yes, society. All of us are the hero, but also the villains. So this graph over here is part of Shalom H. Schwartz's theory of basic human values. So Shalom H. Schwartz is social scientist who look up all the different cultures in the world and try to find common cultures that are shared all over the world. And that's what he found. All these words are actually values that you can find in every culture in the world, every single one. And he just grouped them up into three big categories. And what I find interesting with this circle over here is that Shalom Eshwat explained that each society can have several values at the same time, and also the individual. It's just that we have a hierarchy. So for example, you can be someone that is very benevolent, but you're also hungry for power. You can be both at the same time, actually. But what is happening is that usually we do it, we express our values at different times. For example, I am hungry for power, so I want to take over the company. So I will do evil stuff, or maybe not, to get ahead of other. So I might, make traps for my colleagues. I see you right here. And but it doesn't mean that I won't be benevolent at another time. For example, I can give some money to save the baby koala, okay, at the next day. What is interesting with that is that, of course, you can do it at different times, but where the problem starts is when you do some acts where the values are clashing in itself. For example, you want to help people. For example, as a dev, you can do you can work for a non-profit, creating a website for any type of organization. But then you find out that you are collecting a lot of sensitive data. And then people in the organization are thinking, oh, maybe we should collect all of that and, do a little graph about it. Yeah, nice, but you might think, but I'm a bit going against their own liberty. Maybe there is a security risk. And then you might feel conflicted because you have several values clashing at once. That's where the problem starts. That's where the problem lies. So regarding this, here, I'm going to come back here. So for example, here on this circle, what is you can see that, for example, the values that are in self-transcendence, they are opposite to the ones in self-enhancement, and vice versa. So that's where the tension starts, when you have clash between, for example, benevolence and achievement. Like I said earlier, if you want to get ahead, to have achievement, but sometimes you have to go up against other and be not benevolent. That's where the tension starts. But you also have complementary values, such as universalism and benevolence, that are next to each other, or self-direction and universalism, or power and security. These values can go together. They are not as much as tension than if they are opposites. Are you with me? So where I'm going with this? So for example, like I said, some example with security, self-direction that are opposite, and then power that is opposite to universalism. So if we are against society, it means that we are getting against the value of our society. For example, when we say devs are villains, it's usually in society where self-direction, which is actually freedom, is valued. Because what is a reproach to developers is that what they are making are sometimes security risks, which go up against freedom. But in society where you don't value as much freedom, but you are more about security, about conformity, about making sure that the society stay intact, in place, that the tradition keep on living. That's where they don't see any problem with some of the innovation. For example, in Denmark, what is your main value? If I go back to the circle here, what would you say is your main value? The number one in the hierarchy. You do not have values? Okay, so okay. So maybe not someone from Denmark, anyone. What is the main value in your culture? Come on. Ooh, okay. I'm surprised by that response. So someone said conformity is the number one value in Denmark. I thought it would be maybe universalism, but I was in Nordic countries. Oh my God, the myth is over. So you agree with this? Oh my God, everyone agree? That's okay. Oh, I see Paul said on. Yes, it's the same thing. Conformity and tradition is the same thing. Okay, Paul doesn't know. Okay. Anyone else that is not from Denmark or that? Oh, okay, lady. Yes. Oh, okay. You don't think it's a self-direction? Because I'm French too. With the strikes and everything. No, well, it's okay because both are complementary, so we both right. Let's do this. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave you alone because I can tell by your look, oh my God, why is she talking to us? Please look away. Okay, I'm looking away. So, back to the back to the talk. Since I said that the word villain things depends on society, on the society that we are in, on the culture we are living in, it means that it's all relative anyway. Everything you hear, it's about the point of view you are in the society you are in. So honestly, all this talk, it's all relative. That's my take on this. Well, I still have 30 minutes, so of course it's not ending here. I still have more, please stay. Now, when I was doing this talk, I was looking for something more universal in the tech world, like a code of ethics, and actually found one. Did you know that we have a code of ethics as developers? You don't learning at your work? Okay, so this is the code of ethics that was written in 1987. And so a few software developers came together and wrote all this list of 8 values that we should abide by. Maybe you should take notes. So I'm not going to go over all of them, but just to give you a summary of this, basically, for example, the number one public interest. The value, the public interest means that as developers, we need to make sure that the features that we are making, the software that we are making, are for the common good, that they're not harming the society and the people in it. For example, the project. We need to make sure that our product is the best in terms of user experience, but also in line with the regulation, which is basic stuff, but you know. And what I found interesting was a profession. As a profession, we should make sure that the profession of software developer, of software engineer, keep a good image. Yes, we need to make sure to keep a good image of our profession. Yes, well, I don't think we did a good job. So that was more of the point of view from the profession. Now I look up online from some research papers on this subject and actually found one that was very interesting that talked about what is ethics today in the software engineering world. How is it considered? And actually, only 16% of the software engineering papers even talk about ethics. Like all the rest doesn't exist, doesn't know, sorry, we don't care. And when they look up on when it was talking about ethics and values, they try to find what is the top value that is promoted in these papers. And first was, of course, security. Of course, I'm only talking about that all the time because that's the only thing that we care nowadays, but there are other values. The one after were benevolence and universalism. So it was all interesting until I found one sentence that made me go, oh my God. See, that's how I felt. Like right here, the shock is coming back. Okay, thank you so much. Like, I'm sorry, it was so wow that it came out. It was that sentence. A common example was the value privacy, which from a software engineering perspective is clearly aligned with the category security and yet appears in self-direction. So what does it mean? Honestly, even when I read this, I don't understand. But bear with me. So basically, in this research paper, there were how to say, they were doing, thank you so much, they were doing they were asking for PhD students in software engineering to look up all the research paper from top conferences, top dev conferences, top software engineering publication, and look up the one that were talking about ethics, about the values, and which values were coming up. But they found the problem is that when they were trying to rate the paper to say, oh, they follow this value, that value, there were two values that were coming up, but the problem with this value is that they didn't have the same meaning depending on if you are looking from a software engineering perspective or from a sociology perspective. What does it mean? For software developer, what we see as a security value is for sociologists a privacy, a self-direction value. Why is it a problem? Because when we think, when we talk about security, for us, security is making sure to protect the data. But for sociologists, it means making sure that people keep their data private, keep their freedom. Or, like we saw earlier, these are clashing values. So we don't understand each other. When they say red, we see green. That's why there is such a tension right now. Because we use the same word, but they don't have the same meaning for us and for them. And that's why I found very interesting. And when you think about it, makes sense. Wow. Does it work again? Oh, thank you so much. So you might be asking, okay, so we saw all this. What I'm going to do now? How can I be better? So I look online again and again, how to be a better person. No, I have weird recommendation. Anyway, I found this, which is actually it's several circles that show all the stakeholders that exist in a software engineering process. For example, when you are making a feature, these are the people that are either using it, making it, or being affected by it. So in the middle, it's people that are using a software. So end user, organization, government. The second circle, the red one, are people that are making it. And the third circle in black are people that are affected by it. So why I am showing you this? Because if you want to be a better developer, a more ethical developer, well, you need to do what? No, okay, it's so cool. You guys are heartless, true villains. You need to develop empathy. And to develop empathy, so empathy is it's the ability to put yourself in other shoes. And how you do that? Through this. Through identifying all the stakeholders in the software engineering process and trying to address their concerns. So for example, here, I think it was last week, the CEO of Telegram was arrested in France. And the main reason he was arrested in France was because he's accused of being complicit in, helping crime organization in various type of crimes, such as drug trafficking, human trafficking, and production of child abuse materials, just to say that. Fun stuff. Anyway, why I'm talking about this? Because when Telegram was founded, and why it is so popular today all over the world, is because of the main feature, which is end-to-end encryption. End-to-end encryption makes sure that when you send any type of message to someone, you are the only one who can see it, who can decrypt it, so is the person that is receiving it. So even Telegram cannot tell what you are sending to your mom, okay? You're safe. But the issue is that many people, including criminal organizations, starting to use it to send, criminal material because it was safe. Even Telegram doesn't know what you are doing. And the issue here is that if you look at the previous one, the third parties, when you do end-to-end encryption, of course, you are fulfilling the wish of the end user, which is total data privacy, which is great, depending on what you do with it. Or not great. But if you are the dev team behind it, you don't even know what your users are doing. So for the user experience, it's not that great. You know, you cannot improve the products as much as if you could, I guess, have an idea of what they are using your platform principally for. But also, you cannot be a moderator on this. People can do whatever they want, and you don't even know it. Or you know, but you know. And for the third parties, the issue is that if there are some crime going on, they cannot crack down on this. They don't know who is doing it, when, where, why. So that's the issue with the end-to-end encryption. It's great because we are fulfilling the wish of the people in the middle, but it's not great for all the external circles. And even on the less dramatic subject in your day-to-day life as a developer, when you make up any type of app or feature, sometimes you will have conflicting interest between the stakeholder making it, using it, and being affected by your software. You just have to identify this concern and do your best to address it. And finally, at the end of the day, the whole evil stuff, it's all about you, about what you think is good or bad. It's all relative. What is bad here will be different in the US, will be different in Japan, will be different in South Africa, and so on. That's why, as developers, we need to be the frontier for what's good and right anyway, because no one else is going to tell us, except, of course, the government. Please respect the law. But yeah, that's the meaning of this talk. That's the meaning of this talk. Yeah. So again, you have some literature. At the end, I will put a QR code for the slides if you want to look up some more. And that's it. That's me. And yeah, thank you. So if you have any question, tell me. Or if you want to stay quiet until the end or flee, you can flee. You are free. You are free, mister. Some question? Oh, yeah, the lady right here.
So I'm not sure that it qualifies as a question. Just I wanted to have your opinion on the arrest of the CEO of Telegram that happened quite recently in France. So yeah, he was arrested for not complying with the government to give informations about their users. But to give a little more context on the person, it's himself. Actually, in Russia, he made how do you say that? Sorry, a social network. That's the word. So he made a social network, and he refused to collaborate with the Russian government, and he was considered as an activist, and he fled to France. So I just wanted to know what was your opinion on that, because that part is a little bit tricky, because in that case, he's implicated in facilitating, like you said, child abuse, but you know, his main goal was data privacy, because he knew what governments could do with the personal data of people. So I guess, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I know all about that, but since it's on YouTube and I'm French, I have to go back. I just stayed factual. Okay, what is the press saying? Not theories. So what do I think of that? I feel like I don't like to put judgments on other when I don't know them personally. It's true that he's accused of being complicit, but it doesn't mean that it was necessarily his goal. You know, like when he made Telegram, he was like, okay, how can I make a app for criminals? Yeah, because that's where the money is in crime. No, I feel like maybe, yeah, it's possible that one of his goals, of course, was to create an app that could be totally opaque, like totally that wouldn't be transparent. Because, yeah, of course, if you use WhatsApp or any other type of messaging app, it's not encrypted all the way through. So, yeah. Hi, Facebook. But yeah, I feel like where the initial goal of Telegram was great. I'm always pro data privacy, but it's true that with privacy can come bad things, you know. So it's tricky. It's tricky. So should he be arrested or for that? I don't know. I'm not the government. Hi, Macron. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like I cannot really judge what is the person, what is the inner goal of someone that I don't even know. I feel like what was the initial goal of Telegram was great, but it's less great that it has been used for bad things.
Yeah, thank you. I know it was a tricky question. That's why I said sorry. It's kind
No,
of tricky.
don't worry.
in
I love that.
area. And yeah, because personally, I have a little trouble like fixing my mind about these kind of things because it's always very complicated and it's always very. It always depends so much on the context. And as a software developer, sometimes I'm clueless on what to do and what to think. So thank you very much for your answer.
Thank you. That's the tension I was talking about, that you are feeling inside of you.
Hello. If you want, I can just add a bit context to that. I'm from Belarus, and I know that application quite a bit. It was developed in order to protect people who want to communicate sort of against the government, so the government wouldn't know what they need. And that application was used and is used heavily to protect people in Belarus today, to be able to like collaborate inside bots to protect prisoners, political prisoners there, so they won't themselves be arrested to take part of that. So that it is solving a real issue, and it was built for a very, very good reason. And yes, it's probably illegal in other countries very carefully too. That's the world we live in.
Yeah, great. Thank you for what you just said. Like I said, like that's one of our concerns of software developers, that we can go to jail actually. Yes, some people went to jail for the features that they made. I'm serious. So yeah, we should keep in mind, yeah, we can go to jail for this button, okay? But yeah, oh, someone said, yeah, okay, that's the spirit. I love it. Any other question? Oh, okay.
So I'm French too, but I'm not as good in English as my colleague, so sorry.
It's fine. We are used to it.
I wanted to know the exact opposite. What do you think about companies that needs to moderate their content, but then we have companies that control what people can see? We give power to Twitter, to Facebook, to YouTube, to control what can be good and what cannot be good. Those are companies that have money in mind and want to control what we can see. So what do you think about this?
Yeah, that's a serious issue actually, and I think the European Union keep making laws to try to contain all of that control. It's true that if, especially like you said, Twitter and all these apps, or even TikTok, all these apps that are not national apps, that are not controlled by, I'm not saying the government is necessarily always right, but when you have foreign governments that are behind apps, I'm not saying Twitter, the US are necessarily behind apps, but they have some sort of control over what's going on, if they are going too far or less. Same with TikTok with China. So if we have foreign apps that are used by everyone, especially children, and they are controlling what they see, what they feel, what they think, it can get scary. Yes, I think it's scary. I think, but at the same time, I also think that if you regulate too much, you sort of how to say you reduce the innovation potential. It's very difficult because when you give a lot of freedom, then you have a lot of freedom to do a lot of things, a lot of innovation going. But if you do too much, if you give too much freedom, can go, it can go all over the place. So again, I feel like it's again a tension I'm feeling with you guys. You never know. It's like a fine line. Like we have to be, well, we don't have to be necessarily since we are not part of the government, but it's a bit of an equilibrist type of stuff where if you go too much on one way or another, you fall. So I feel like it's very difficult as a question. Even lawmakers are pulling their hair out for years and years and years and getting bald. So yeah, I know it's not a real answer. I'm sorry, I don't have an answer. I just feel like it's a difficult question. We need to think more about that, Go back to France, sit down on the chair and think.
Another way of being evil, maybe. And I am really a big fan, and I also gave a talk about it, about accessibility for various kind of disabilities. For example, also people with Down syndrome or elderly people with dementia. And is it okay if you are focusing 100% on security, but due to your security, by example, having very strong rules on password variations and password rotations or MFA, multi-factor authentication, you are excluding people because the tool will be too difficult to use. If it's evil, I think it's evil to really exclude people with, let's say, severe disabilities just in the name of security. Is security the holy grail about everything?
You are correct. Like, you are correct. I have no words. You have been correct. Like, preach, preach. Honestly, yeah. But I think you must all know that there is a law that came up where, as developers, I think it's I don't know which date exactly. I think it's coming up soon. We have to make all our apps accessible. So that's great. That's the good thing that government can do. Why, Danny?
I know the law, and I'm saying up and up because I know the law as the EAA, the European Accessibility Act, and my personal opinion is it's not going far enough, and it will still exclude too many people. And yeah, I say
I get it. I get it. Especially if you are a big international company, you have to think of so many people in the world that you might not even have in your own company or in your software developer team. So it's difficult. But I feel like as long as we know that it's a concern that we need to address, that's where we can get better. As long as we know it's a problem, that's where we can tackle it. But if we just ignore it, or that's what I think. And I feel like I'm hopeful. I think we are getting there. We are getting there. Any other question, remark, preach? I'm listening. It's your time to shine. No one wants. Oh, okay. Someone wants to shine. Thank you.
Hi. First, thank you for a great talk and a great discussion. I'm enjoying this discussion as much as the talk, so thank you. I just had a remark. I live in San Francisco, and I regularly see self-driving cars, and I have been inside of one. And my remark is on innovation, of which there's a lot of in the San Francisco Bay Area, Palo Alto area. We have a lot of innovation, a lot of startups, and where I think about this question about evil versus innovation is in bias that exists in the communities that prepare the models or build the data sets that are used to train these cars or other things like that. So I think it's very interesting and important to acknowledge that hopefully the communities can get better, but we sometimes have to think, I think someone mentioned it, it's not intentional. There's bias in the data set because the people who are making these data sets that are being fed into a machine learning model just have bias because of who they are, and it's not intentional, but it can have dangerous consequences. And in self-driving cars, that might be not incorrectly identifying, objects, people, animals, things like that. So just a really good call out that evil's a good word, but it's unintentional, but it doesn't mean it's not important to be aware of that and make sure we're catching those situations.
Yeah, I totally agree. Preach, preach. I love this. I love preaching. No, but I totally agree. And personally, I'm not the type of people to think that people have necessarily bad intention, because it's true that some people might think, oh, you did this on purpose to hurt people. I don't really like thinking that someone does something necessarily to bring harm to other. We don't know what's going on inside, what happened. So I feel like I'm not saying we need to think, oh, everyone is nice, they do it for the good of the other, but I feel like we shouldn't put too much judgment to everything, because mistakes happen. Sometimes you don't even have time to think of ethics. I don't know, but me personally as a developer, I don't really have the time every day to, take a little break. Okay, let me think. This button, is it hurting someone in Montpellier? I don't know about you, but yeah, I feel like we can keep going forward if at least we know that there are these issues, and we try our best to do better. As long as you know it's a problem, that's where you can move forward. Anyone else want to preach, want to shine, want to say, hey mom, I was on this YouTube video? No. No one wants to say, hey mom? Oh, okay, let's go.
Hey mom, no. It just maybe to add something else. I think we need to think our projects as not how we can use them now, but how they will be used later. Because maybe if we have some, how can I say this, mentality, is it a word?
Yes.
Yes, okay, perfect.
It's now
so
a word.
perfect. So if we have a mentality of doing something good, and we produce something to do something good, maybe this same thing will be used quite differently to do something really bad. So just this.
Yeah, like
I think.
Telegram, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Just like Telegram or like everything, like Facebook, who was connecting people, and now are just there is a lot of people just judging each other, and a lot of communities that are self-centered. So that's it.
Yeah, that's the hard part with being a dev. For example, you said Facebook. At first, they said they created the like button because they wanted to make people happy. They wanted to spread joy. Like it's a way to appreciate other. Oh, I like that picture. But now it has become a competition. Oh, you got two less like than me. You're less cool. But as a dev, you cannot really think that far unless you are like you have superpower. Which, if you are, shouldn't be dev. Should be, don't know. You should control the world if you have this power. But it's difficult. I feel like we should just live in the present moment, because you never know what is going to happen next, where your feature or your app or any type of other app is going to go. And when it takes a wrong turn, then you should be flexible enough to correct that. That's where I stand. Any other preach? Okay, someone want to say, hey mom? No? Okay. Hey dad? Hi dad? Bye dad? The reverse of hi mom? Yeah, making dad jokes.
Yeah, but because you're taking on like a massive topic. Because the thing is, like, it's not always the intent. You can not control what people are going to do, and ethics is just such a broad. Like, there's so much philosophy about it. So you can actually build something, do something, but you cannot control what people do with it. That's like the general thing. So yeah, for example, you do the like button, and all the reactions that came with it, and now people are sending laughs because they think people are ridiculous and making fun of them, but you did not build it with that intent. But it became evil because of the end user, actually.
Exactly. That's the tension. Again, I keep feeling it. Right, another preach? No one wants to say hi mom, bye dad, hola, tata. Yes, you? No? Okay. Oh, you're just a mic guy, sorry. Oh, okay, Paul, again.
Not another love. No.
But my thinking is, what you can control is who you're working for, of course, and you can change. You can take on another position in another company. That's one thing that you can do. I've done that. I worked with online poker, for instance,
Ooh.
as a tester. As a tester. And I found out that I don't think this is really good. So I changed my position, and so I started to work for. Now I work for a non-profit organization, and
Quite the jump.
I love it, and I love it because it takes off a lot from my shoulders.
Mm.
And of course, I have to think. But my question is: do you think that you can hold this talk for any other? What's it called? Any other type of workers? I mean, industry. I mean, for all people, you can have this talk for all people. I would say, and it's the same thinking that you have to have, despite what you're working with. So, yeah.
Yeah, but don't you think that you could
What
have
is
stayed?
special with us? I mean, what is? Why do you hold this talk here for us?
Yes.
Is it special for us, or is it just that we're here?
Yes, I feel like so it's true that, like you said, it depends on a lot of the decision making is not in our hand. If you are just a small software developer, it's true that we might not have the power to change the culture, to change, the goal that might not be going in the right way. But I'm hopeful. Maybe here there are a lot of CTOs from tomorrow or maybe today, And I feel like as long as you can try within the power that you have to do better, with a small step. It's always the small step that goes the farthest, that's where we can have some changes, because it's true that people are like, I'm not the CTO, I'm not the CEO, so I cannot do nothing. I just follow because what my boss is telling me, because I have bills to pay. I get that. But there are always things that we can do to improve the product in a good way. And when I say good way, it's not necessarily, we are going to save the world, save the baby koalas. No, but we are making a product that is addressing some concern of our end users. I feel like we can all do something like this, Not necessarily data privacy, because it might not be something that we can achieve in any type of organization, but any type of user concern. I know I talk a lot about security, but there are other values. As long as you develop empathy, you can build a better product, because you are able to put yourself in the shoes of your end user, in the shoes of maybe the government, respect the laws, or even in the shoes of your colleague. Make sure that what you are doing is not going to give you a fine in the future, get you CEO arrested in France. That's where I'm going. I feel like it's too easy to think, I cannot do anything. No, that's not true. Everyone here can do anything, but I don't mean that you can do something great to change the world and make a world a better place. But just think about the user. How can you make your user experience better? Just this. Feel like everyone here can do that. It's not about philosophy or or anything. It's something very practical. That's why I'm here for. Any other question, remarks, preach, or, trap, joke? No? You want to go back to the buffet? I get it. Okay, I think we are done here. Thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you. You are now free.